I've been a security guard in my company for over 2 years now. But the work my company does is not your typical run-of-the-mill. To put it simply, my company accepts the jobs that no other security company will. That includes high-risk assignments, which often result in the deaths of the staff members or abandoning their posts. Let me take it from the top. When I started working here, they had a very long one-on-one with me to explain all the potential dangers I would be facing. They also made me sign an NDA and a bunch of other papers which stated that if something were to happen to me, the company would not be held responsible. They explained the job was risky, but it also paid well. I had been jobless for a while and jumped at the opportunity regardless of the risks. Unlike most other companies though, they made me read the whole entire NDA aloud and made sure I was aware of all the rules. Some things I read out loud just made me think that this was initially all a joke, but then I saw my superior was dead serious. My job was basically to provide support to the guards of the other posts via comms and patrol the perimeter I was stationed at. Now, our HQ was located in an office building compound which had multiple companies renting the adjacent buildings. I would mostly work nights with the occasional mornings. The rules were as follows. I was to do a full sweep of the compound at all offices, save for Building 4, of course, the call center office. I was not to approach Building 4 in any circumstances, no matter what I heard from the outside. Even if I saw someone inside from the windows, I was not to engage. When I asked for more details, they refused to answer me, stated that I should simply obey their orders if I value my life. No, people have a normal 9-to-5 job in that building, and nothing seems to be wrong during the day. When I do ask the employees about it during my morning shifts, though, they all seem to either not know anything or abruptly find an excuse to end the conversation. In Building 6, the designer company, the rules were even stranger. Here's what a chief told me.
In Building 6, you may sometimes run into someone, a woman to be precise. She's gonna try to start a conversation with you. It's an imperative that you ignore her presence at all costs. She'll try to talk to you, taunt you, but she'll never get in your way. An extremely important rule to remember, and I cannot stress this enough, is that if you see her in the building, do not run to the exit or building before you finish your sweep. Trust me, she'll know. Just sweep as you normally would, check every room, and then quietly exit. Ignoring her all the way, she will become very increasingly agitated and violent. Might even try to startle you, tell you there's something behind you in a very convincing manner. Just ignore her. If you don't, well, you don't want to know what happened to the last guard.
I've since encountered the woman once, and it was a grueling and agonizing experience. I would rather not talk about it. Another rule I had to remember was not opening the gate between the hours of 10 and 7. The chief told me that under no circumstances am I to open the gate. Even if the guard comes 5 minutes early to relieve me on my duty, the gate was to be remained closed. That brings me to the experience I once had. It was about 6 months after I started working, and the sun almost was already up. I heard knocking at the gate, and when I went out, I saw through the gate the silhouette of my coworker. "Hey, mind opening up the gate?" he asked. I approached and put my keys in the keyhole. My phone started ringing. I answered it without even looking at the caller, but when I heard the voice, my blood froze. It was my coworker. "Hey, I'm gonna be late 30 minutes today, man. Sorry, man." I hung up and just realized it was 6:50 a.m. I stared at the silhouette on the other side of the gate, who suddenly started banging on the door, demanding to be let in, stating that he had lost his cell phone and he was the real coworker. I retreated to the guard's house and waited for what seemed like forever until the banging stopped. In reality, it only lasted until 7 a.m., 10 minutes. Those were all the rules I had to follow in my own post, and most of the time it was uneventful. However, I've heard some stories from other coworkers. Since I'm in contact with the guards at the other posts, one of them told me this story. He worked as a guard in a residential building, and one night an old man who lived there called him to come to his apartment. He didn't explain what was wrong, he just told him to go there. So he did. When he reached the apartment, the wife of the man was crying, stating that her husband was dead. The guard tried convincing her that her man was very much alive, and in fact brought him there. But when he turned around, the old man was gone. It was then that he saw the old man's dead body in the chair next to his sobbing wife. He quit that same night. Another creepy thing that happened was on a farmstead which our company has guards posted on. A guy by the name of Jeff who worked there told me about his own experience which made him run away from his post in the middle of the night. So apparently, the farm was empty at the time since it needed some more stuff built first. But his duty was to basically patrol circles around the farm and make sure there's no squatters or vandals. So one night, he's walking around, hears someone calling his name in a playful tone. He dismisses it as his imagination at first, but when it recurs, he asks who's there and demands that they show their hands up in the air. Now, I haven't seen this, so I can't guarantee anything, but Jeff swears it's true. He says all of a sudden, out of the crops, a man just stands up. Now, the top of the crops reach it to his waist, which is technically impossible, because the crops themselves were taller than Jeff, and Jeff's a pretty tall guy. But the man grins at Jeff and just continues to call his name playfully, as if he's hiding from him. Needless to say, Jeff didn't stick around to see what the fuck that guy wanted. When he reported it to HQ, he said there were sightings of that man in the past, always calling the names of the guards, but never really did anything harmful. Now, the final thing I'll share with you here is my experience when I was stationed at a hospital for 1 month. It was a private clinic of some sort, so my job was to basically monitor the camera feed. Camera 3 was off, though. When I asked why, they told me to keep it that way and never turn it on. They also said that from time to time I may see a person on the feed which covered the outside of the security office, and that he may just be standing there, facing the door. I was to remain in my office when that happened and not glance at the door. He'd usually disappear after 30 minutes or so. Patrolling was strictly forbidden from the hours of 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Money is one of the reasons why I haven't quit so far, and the dangers aren't that bad once you get used to them and you know what you're doing. And plus, getting stationed at different posts keeps the jobs adventurous and dynamic. If any of you lack any social talents or qualifications like me, this job is perfect for you. Hey everyone, SirFright here. Thank you for tuning in today. This is my first video of any reading or any creepy video. I'll get better as time goes on. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.